And today we will be talking about content, all things content. We've had this question a lot. You guys keep telling us to make content, but we don't see results.
How do you get content to conversions, voice? We have a lot of clients that we get on the content engine and they're creating content, we're repurposing it, posting it across multiple channels. But how do you convert it into deals? Let's talk about it.
All right, get us started.
Okay, so um, let's break down the problem and just tell me if this is you, okay? Visibility without conversion, right, Floyd? So we hear this a lot. This is a common problem, especially in real estate, where you see the other agents that are out there. If you go to YouTube and you type in your local area, your farming area, you're going to see a whole bunch of realtor competitors,
Yeah.
okay? They're showing up, they're visible. Are they turning it into deals? Some are, some aren't. We're going to talk about the ones that are and they're the most successful and what they do different than the ones that are just creators and making content. That's a different game. You want to get deal flow. You want to fill up your pipeline with quality leads. You want to attract people that are looking to buy, sell, invest, or sometimes rent.
And Steve, I've had this question, especially now that we're on the visibility point. Somebody said, okay, I'm visible. I do my listing tours, I do my market updates, and I post it on on YouTube, I post it on Insta, but I still don't see anything. But it's what you do. How do you create when you create that listing tour? What else do you do with it? Are you driving traffic to it through advertising? Or are you just creating to show your seller that look, I did a video for you, I put it on my YouTube channel. If you want that, because I believe, Steve, when you have a listing, it should be you building a portfolio for future deals. So just because you landed that listing, it's not the end of the story. Don't create so that you feel, you kind of make the seller happy. Create so that you can use that for more deals. And the way you keep that asset multiplying is by driving traffic to it and making it in a way, creating it in a way that it is a stop scrolling kind of content that is value packed, and you're not just fanning around and showing that, oh, they have a beautiful kitchen, they have a beautiful bedroom. You have a story down for that community, for who this is for, and why you should even consider that home.
Floyd, I can think of 3 pro tips. Just pause to talk about pro tips with listings that we share with all of our clients. Number one, don't put the address in the video. You can put that in the description so that you can change it later. But as she said, this should be evergreen. You should keep this up, and you could be continuing traffic, and this could be working and selling for you. You could say something like, besides, uh, you want them coming to you and asking. You want a
Yeah.
curiosity gap. Okay. Also, it allows it to be evergreen. So it's two really good reasons to not put the address in the video itself. You can put it in the description. You can even put it on an overlay with certain versions that you might put up. But you want an evergreen version with no address, because after you sell this, that's their privacy. You don't want to. You got to be careful with that and respect their privacy. So the second pro tip is, Floyd, a lot of people that we see are focusing on the home, but not focusing also on what?
The community. The
Home.
buyer buying to they buy into the community first before they buy into the home.
If you combine in and around the house, and I know you probably do a drone shot showing the house and maybe the area, but if you go a little bit deeper and build in the community, the surrounding community into your story,
Yeah.
you're already ahead of what, 98% of real estate video listing videos out there.
Mhm.
So add community to not just the brick and mortars of the property itself. And then the number 3 pro tip is what? I forgot it now. I forgot my third pro tip, but it's okay. We're going to move on.
Maybe advertising or what?
You definitely want to advertise. I
Even
think
if
the
it's
third
like
pro tip was to make a storyline for this. what most realtors do, tell me if this is you, you have your videographer push through the rooms, push through the house, and then it's got music underneath it, right? So there's like a good minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes sometimes even of pushing through rooms, maybe combined with some drone shots with music underneath it. And hopefully it's visually telling a story, but it's really just a bunch of really beautiful shots stitched together, if you think about it. And you're relying on the viewer to put all this together and say, oh, wow, that's beautiful. I can imagine myself there. Think of it as a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it should have a hook in the beginning and then a story behind whatever the features are, the history, how it plugs into the community, whatever storyline you can come up with this to tie it into the property to engage me as I'm watching it. So it's not just music. You'll watch the watch time. It goes really down after the first 10, 15 seconds when you do that with just music underneath.
And I think the resistance here, Steve, when it comes to the storytelling is when you go for your shoot, like the listing shoot, most realtors are busy. You're picking up calls. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
you have maybe the seller on site and you got to talk about a few things. You're directing your videographer. So there's a lot going on that day. So you can welcome us to your listing. Just to be on camera just for a few seconds, welcome us, let us know where we are, and then work with your videographer to record a voiceover. Carry your script with you, and just in your car, just read the script. Tell us what we're seeing, and this is gonna help your viewers to understand the details. So you don't have to be on camera and become Miss,
Voice
reporters.
it
Yeah,
over after.
just voice it
Yeah.
over. It's okay. It's what is under like it's what you're presenting to the viewer that is important versus you don't matter to them for real. They just want to buy and keep living. The other thing is to understand we're in the AI era now. A lot of these videos that are put out with just music, when the AI is think about it, when the AI is combing through YouTube channels for that community, even if you put it in the title, but the fact that it cannot transcribe what is being said, it's just music,
Yeah.
you're losing on that.
Yeah.
Even when people type into
Good point.
Google will always prioritize people that have good descriptions, good title, and your video has captions, meaning you're speaking throughout the video. So you have to understand the tech era that we are in. There's a lot of AI tools now being used, and you want to show up. You want to be found.
Great point. When you voice it over, you're making yourself more visible to the
Yeah.
AI engines. So let's move on, though, to the other problem with a lot of these video content that we see. Tell me if this is you. No call to action at the end. So you're putting out content. Some of it might even be personal. We have some realtors that get attention on Instagram by posting pictures of their kids and their family, or their, when they're going out to eat and things like that, which could be fine. That's a vlogging thing, but there needs to be a call to action. At the end, do you have some kind of an offer that you're offering them some next step to do? And there's lots of offers. We have 10 of them actually in a box that you can pick from. Um, and remember, you can offer them property alerts and market reports too through the Lofty platform, or something like an equity check, or a home valuation that's a second opinion to the Zestimate, things like that.
And to add to that, Steve, I think also another like no brainer call to action, if it's a listing video, let's say, right? You are targeting sellers, right?
Right. So if we're going back to the listing video, yeah, that what would be a good follow-up call to action for that for us?
You can say, okay, if you're not ready to sell now, go to my what's your home want. If you're targeting buyers, let's say you want to use that listing for other buyers in the future, or for that time, send them to your website and state it. Say, go to my website on this part. Like, you have to have ready to go. If you're a buyer, go here, connect with my lender to see if you're pre-qualified to buy this home listed for this much. If you're a seller and you're not sure if it's the right time to sell in this community, go to my what's my home worth. Like, you can have more than one call to action, or you can have it fork two ways. You say, if you're a seller, here's where to go. If you're a buyer, here's where to go. The problem with telling people to just go to your website, it is a CEO of properties and all that. They are not going to know exactly where to start.
The call to action is not the front door of your website
Or your phone number.
or your phone number. It should be landing pages with a specific offer,
Yeah.
ideally. Give them a reason to go. So we have lots of other. That's another discussion about offers and how to craft offers to generate leads. But missing calls to action. Always make a call to action that is not, and we're not just talking about your phone number or your website.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now going back to the seller thing, though,
Mm-hmm.
your sellers want leads. What would be a great offer, Floyd? I got one in my head. What would be a great offer for a listing video? You know what I'm thinking?
What do you mean your sellers want leads?
Well, your sellers want leads for that listing video. If you
Your
put it
seller,
on YouTube,
yeah,
your
seller,
you want
not
to show them that you
sellers.
got
Okay,
leads, right?
yeah.
What if you offered a neighborhood guide or neighborhood videos? Click here for a neighborhood video or something that you could offer about the area or the community. Get my list of about the schools, or your quick start guide if you're relocating to this area. The 10 things that you should do in the first 10 days, something like that.
And I think also, Steve, I know this is not mentioned a lot, and it may not even come up initially when you list the first week of listing that home. But if you're smart, I would think is have that conversation during the listing presentation to the seller. Say, okay, we're gonna go to market. Maybe there's 4 or 5 listings down the street, and we want to make sure that we stand out. How can we make this better for the buyers coming in? What are you willing to give as an incentive as a seller? Talk about the incentives, you know,
There's lots of
but stay
creative
compliant because
incentives.
because the laws have changed. Just make sure you're compliant, but talk to them, ask them what are you, is does it come with furniture? Is it, does everything stay? Like, we shot a listing that, if I get time, I'll insert it here. We shot a listing last month, and the seller, this was $1 million. I think it was 2 point something million, listed in the shores of Pompano Beach, and the seller was offering a classic car with the house because the listing wasn't they didn't renovate it, so it was the only, I think, the only one that still kept its original style. But they had some, they had a nice pool that they just put up a
Mm-hmm.
nice fence. But he offered that car with the home because
Was it
the value,
convertible?
yeah, because the value of the land is what actually because you can tear down that home and build up, and then the value increases. But I think they were leaning towards that the land that you're sitting on is valuable. It was literally minutes away from the beach.
What a great sweetener, though. They were
Yeah.
offering a classic car
Mm-hmm.
along with the listing.
Yeah,
And
because he was a car guy. He was a car
it
collector.
was a nice car, too. It was like
Yeah.
50s or 60s vintage, I think Thunderbird or something like that.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was even a convertible.
Yeah.
What a great sweetener. Sweeteners like that, if you can get your seller to throw those in, turn it into an offer. You could put that on a landing page and then have them go there. That's a great way to get leads for your seller.
Yeah, I've seen people say, okay, I have a personal chef that lives with me, and he comes with the listing because we're moving some. Make it sweet. Even the things that you don't think count, the things that realtors reserve for the transaction.
How about paying for the pool service for a year?
It's up to the seller, but I'm just saying the things that you
Something
think,
like that.
the
Yeah.
things that you think the general public doesn't need to know yet until they get under contract. Talk to your seller, make sure you're representing them well, and that there's, he agrees to it in writing, and just present that as an incentive, and that way you stand out in a very competitive market. you know People value coming in maybe from out of state, and the home is furnished. Other people value getting a classic car like that. you know so make the deal sweet, make the offer sweeter.
So we covered landing pages and offers.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what's missing from your listing videos and all of your other videos too, not
Mhm.
just listing videos, but your just video content that you're creating. It should lead to some, think about offers. I think as realtors, we really don't think enough about creating small offers to get a yes.
Oh, you know what? This is actually reminding me to
A
you
small,
as you as a realtor, you gotta think of incentives that you can give on your end. Is it you're gonna cover the broker fees? This is very common. You know, what
doing
are you
this
gonna?
with a client now,
Yeah,
the realtor that's working with a lender to come up with a great offer with points and
yeah,
incentives and things
yeah,
like that.
yeah. All
O-
right.
Okay, so landing, that was landing page and offer we
Mhm.
talked about. Next problem that we, tell me again if this is you, no nurture plan.
Mm. That is
Okay,
so sweet,
so
especially for the ones that send them to just the
so
website.
first maybe there's no visibility, right?
Hmm.
Second, maybe there's no call to action. Okay, maybe you got the visibility and the call to action. Maybe even got a landing page and an offer.
Hmm.
But then behind that, you need the nurture plan. That's the final piece of the puzzle, right,
But
Lois?
it's a nurture plan that is relevant to the offer. You cannot put them under the buyer generic smart plan or the seller generic smart plan. If they came and the incentive was closing, we're gonna cover your closing costs, right?
Right.
And that buyer comes into your landing page, they opt in. So they're gonna want to hear more deals like that, even if they don't get that. They're gonna want to hear more. Remember, always remember when you're crafting the nurture, it has to match the landing page and the offer that you offered initially. Because if they're just coming in from, let's say, Google, just Googling you, it's okay for them to fall under the generic one. But if you send them there and they opted into something that you promised, keep that promise in the follow up, right?
Right. And not a lot of realtors talk about this name, but this whole process is called a funnel. So you need to build a funnel, and that's really what we're doing here. So yeah, that's it, Floyce. We're going to talk about the structure and how to fix it now. But we see a lot going back to the problem. There's a lot of perceived failure,
Yeah.
I think, with this, where we hear this a lot. Maybe this is you. Tell me again if this is you. I'm posting, but I don't know if it's worth it. Nothing's happening. It seems like a lot of effort for nothing, right? So there's this perception that social media doesn't work, that content doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
But it's because your content isn't tied to conversion. You're not building out the back end parts of this. So let's get into that structure and how to fix it, Floyd. So we're going to break this down into 5 pieces, right? So number 1 is what? We're going to create a content to conversion flow. This flow, also called a funnel, you may have heard that word, but every video or post should point viewers towards a specific offer, like we just talked about, right, Floyce?
Yeah.
Like,
uh, paying towards their closing costs, you taking care of the broker fees. Could be this home comes with with furnitures. It comes furnished. What's your home worth? If you're curious about the market value here, if you're a buyer, I would give you a curated, just reduced homes. If, literally, even when you let's say when you have a pricing adjustment, you can always make that fast listing video work for you as a realtor when you think about it, because you can cut it in a way. You introduce them to the listing and you say, hey, remember, I just did this a month ago. The seller just reduced the price by that much. Now, if you want me to send you a list of homes that I've just reduced because this maybe doesn't fit your needs, click the link below.
Click here or DM reduced,
And I'll send you the link.
and I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
It works. Try it, but you got to have the offer behind it. You got to have something behind. Always have an offer in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah.
Other examples: buyer and seller checklists and appointment bookings. Of course, that's a little bit when they're more ready.
Yeah.
And most people do that. They try to push them to an appointment, but there's not that step before. It's a psychology thing, right, Floyd?
Yeah, like what am I getting?
You're trying to get the first yes.
Yeah.
If you can get one small yes with something that's easy, with a low barrier to entry, that's an offer they can't refuse, now you got the first yes, and it's easier to get the second and third, and you can walk them down the path of your pipeline. Okay, so next up, number 2 is we're going to use tiered services wisely. This is the second part of the structure and how to fix it. So if you already film, so here's what we're talking about, right, Floyd? If you are already filming, choose a clipping service to turn long form videos into short form. This is how you build a content engine. Does content work, Floyd?
It does, because just because you film once doesn't mean you gotta keep doing it. Like I know you've heard from gurus like Gary Vee and other people that are very, very content savvy, and they tell you they post every day. But it doesn't mean they produce every day. They produce once and then clip it to cover them through the week, through the month, through even some through the year. Because somebody like Gary Vee has speaking engagement all over. And one speaking engagement could be 1 hour long. An hour has 60 minutes. So every minute that he opens his mouth is a clip. Think of that. So he will repurpose that one session to cover him even when he's busy doing other things and the speaking engagement have died down. And he also is very big on documentation. Now let's say you don't have an hour on your on your end to do this. You can do little bits and pieces every day during your work. Document your work day. Talk to us and post it. Don't overproduce it, just post it. And then have one session in a week where you do that one, maybe 30-minute long one, and then pick that as your offer structure. Now you cut that and then you put money behind it, and that's how you convert. Because the everyday documentation is to connect with the audience really, because you don't want to always be selling. But the one that you produce with an offer, that's where you add money to it to amplify and get some traffic and then convert them in the back end.
So the everyday documentation, just document. You're not trying to get a lot of views. You're just trying to build trust and familiarity and to be consistent. It also helps you to get more comfortable and to get in the rhythm of it. And then secondly, right, Floyd, do a take long form content and break it down into short form content. That is something we do. We do it for ourselves. We do it as a service for you. And it works really well because you could talk with someone for 30 minutes twice a month, and you could have enough content to post every day for that month.
And
twice a day, really.
Yeah. And I will tell you, right now, we're on this live, right? This live is going to give me at most 10 clips or 20. Sometimes when it's very value packed, 20. And those, we post them every single day. Now, when you go to our feed right now, the shorts feed, you can see. Now, not all of them, not all the clips that are, picked and clipped get 1 million views. But I'm able to test and see what topics are working based on those short forms that we clipped. And now I know maybe automation is better. AI conversation are working. Because you see a trend, you will see a trend. Out of the 3 that we post a day, there's always one that goes above 500 or 300 views, and the views keeps going. And now you can use even that as your ad strategy
Yeah.
and only promote the ones that are getting traction.
And even better, Floyce, when you get
Mhm.
messages, DMs, people asking questions, that's gold. Even one or two. You don't need a big audience. We are
No,
not trying to go viral.
no.
You're not trying to go viral. You don't need a lot. You just need the right quality people, and you need to show up consistently. When you go to do a listing appointment,
Mhm.
nowadays people are going to be looking you up and seeing
Yeah.
if you're visible on social media. If there's crickets, they never heard of you, they can't find you anywhere, you're a secret agent,
They'll find the one that is doing something. They'll find the
you're
one.
going to
Yeah.
lose it to the one that's more visible, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, so moving on to our structure and how to fix this. We to review, number one was to create a content to conversion flow. Number two was to use tiered services wisely, and by that we mean long form broken down into short form, and then and documenting. And then number three, we broached this
Yeah, we
already.
already talked
Add
about
landing
it.
pages.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a landing page builder built into Lofty. It's built into KV Core and a lot of other platforms too that have an IDX website connected. But Floyce, I feel like a lot of realtors don't take advantage of these landing pages. Maybe they don't know
Yeah.
what they're for or they don't use them, but
Or they think it's just for when you need to run an ad. No, you can have, I think with Loft, you can have as many landing pages as you want. And you can literally get domains to forward to that landing page. If you have like, check my home worth in Chesapeake or somewhere like, I don't know, New York, my New York home value. You can buy a domain like that and tie it to a landing page that is not your general site, that is just gated for nothing but opting in.
so, Floyce, are you telling me that my one website that's maybe myname.com or something, I can make landing pages and then have a URL or a website or a .com going to each and every one of those for an offer?
Yeah, you can forward to that.
Imagine that. Yeah.
You can have as many offers as you
Um,
want.
who is it? Greg Luther
Yeah, it's a good
has
one.
thousands of these .coms. You'll
Yeah.
see other ones. Russell Brunson also does this. So many different .com. Each one goes to a different landing page. This is very easy to do. We could help you, or if you're a client, we do this for our clients, or you could do it yourself. It's not hard. You just forward it and GoDaddy, right, Floyce?
Yeah, and it has to be something they'll remember. Oh, he talked about home what? My New York. Oh, I'm in New York. Oh, what was that again? My New York home value.com. Go there, get it, opt in, get served with the right follow up.
My NYC home value, my fill in your neighborhood or area or borough. Find and build a library of domains. They're cheap. What are they? $2? You can get
Yeah,
one
like I
for a
have
year
one. I
for the
have
first
one
year.
that says list my miamihome.com, list my browardhome.com. It's pretty general, but it's a good start if I ever was to have a listing offer. I tell
Mm-hmm.
them just go to list my miamihome.com.
So landing pages.
Yes.
Take advantage.
Hmm.
Okay, what's number four, Floyd?
Test and optimize with ads.
Ads.
Hmm.
Not enough realtors
You've done this for
run
20 years. Tell us, Steve.
run ads. Yeah, and these ads have gotten they're all AI powered now, and the platforms are very, very good at finding your ideal customer or client, finding your audience. But you have to train the algorithm
Yeah.
to to do it consistently. So what we advocate for, we tell our clients, you don't have to spend a lot of money, but do a slow burn and be consistent. Spend $5 a day or something manageable to stay in front. It's think of it like boosting. You shouldn't use the boost button, but you if you really
If you
don't know how
really,
to do
yeah.
it and you don't have a professional do it, use the boost the boost button in Facebook. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. But ideally, you run it with an ads manager and you just get some low, slow burn something going to train the algorithm on who your ideal client is. And over time, it's going to learn. And then when you really need to do a campaign like a listing video that you want to boost, it's it's going to find your people, the right people for you right away. Or
And
if you have an offer that you want to advertise, it's going to find those people right away.
and I've had agents say the same thing we hear about video doesn't work, ads don't work. Why? Because it's what kind of ads? Let's say you do Google ads. They're more, most realtors don't even do video ads that are actually Google ads. They do the listing, the general inventory ads, homes for sale in such and such. You don't stand out like that. I believe if you have a good, unique offer that you tie to that ad, and it's not just a general ad that doesn't stand out, like, what are you telling me that I haven't heard from other people? Yes, you've listed this home for sale, but why should I just click on it? Why can't I click on the other agent? Because mine comes furnished, mine comes with closing cost incentives, mine comes with ABC. So you have to think of it as a consumer and think, why would I want to click on that ad? Right?
Right. Um,
Everything is
the,
so cookie cutter.
the
That's why it
cookie the
doesn't work.
cookie cutter one's just carousel through the MLS, and it's showing you what you're really doing is getting people to click on pretty pictures of houses. Um, is that a good quality lead? Well,
Most of
not
them are,
usually.
yeah, most of them are likely gonna tell you, I'm not ready, and then you say, oh,
Right.
the ads don't
It's
work.
a lot of looky loos. They get curious. Sometimes they don't even know it's an ad. They're just curious to look inside the home. They kind of like Zillow. They're just window shopping. Um, so a better way is for you to show up with video and drive engagement. But the key is consistency.
Yeah.
So moving on to, um, so that was the nurture sequence.
Mm.
Going back to, let's review the 5-step structure then, Floyd. So to review, number one, create a content to conversion flow. Um, every video should point to somewhere after it's done. Number two, use repurposing and documentation to create consistent content. Number three, add landing pages. Number four, layer it with ads. Start testing and optimizing ads. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but start with something small to warm up the algorithm. And then number five, plan a nurture sequence that makes sense with your offer so that it's all congruent.
It's a perfect pairing.
There's your 5-point structure.
Hmm.
And what are the expected results now, Floyce?
Ooh. Here, when you do all this, you increase inquiries because each video directs viewers to take action. Then you have more qualified leads captured through landing pages rather than lost in the feeds. Remember, every comment on your feed and a DM is now living in a database that you can follow up with an email. So that's that. And then improved ad performance and lower cost per lead. You refine your clips and CTAs. You refine them to really rate what the offer is and where you should go to get that offer. And then a steady pipeline of prospects who feel nurtured and ready to buy or sell instead of one off video views.
So this is you engineering relationships. Okay. You're not trying to get a quick lead, a quick buck. You are engineering the entire customer journey, just like dating, right? From the coffee date when you just met all the way through to the altar and having kids and grandkids. Okay. And there's steps that happen in between that. And it's the same with a business relationship or a lead being developed. And what we're really talking about here, that the funnel, the pipeline is just that, engineering the entire relationship, the entire customer life cycle.
All right. Close us out.
Okay, so to close this out, to summarize, let's say that by focusing your content on conversion, not just making content, that's a big part of it, yes. But by also combining that with conversion, with strong CTAs, offers, landing pages, and a follow-up plan, like we talked about, you'll finally see your marketing turned into measurable results. You'll finally see it turn into a steady pipeline of leads and relationships that'll last you the entire
in time. We have a webinar coming up this Saturday, uh, and we would love for you to join. We will leave a link below for you to join. And if this is uh, this is going to be past the time you're watching us, we're gonna leave a replay link and a link to join our community so that you don't miss out on some of these great events that have products structured for you to succeed and convert your videos into closings.
And if all this sounds like a lot of work to do it yourself, go to justvideoit.com. We can handle all of the content management and the clipping and everything that you need to create content and convert that content.
All right, enjoy the rest of your week. That's it for our Monday mic check.